So hello Zen-Nerds. I'm kind of hoping nobody's watching this right now because I'm going to be editing this live. So I'm back with the Yukon map. So last time we touched on the faults. So you can actually see this one right here. So that big one right along there, that's the Titina fault. And then down below, that's the Denali fault. So that was what was covering the last live stream that Nick was doing, episode G. So in episode H, or he was saying at the end of episode G that he was going to be talking about thrust faults. And that just got me thinking about different thrust faults that are in the Yukon. So, hello and welcome. I'm back with my map here. So, again, I've got the Titina here and the Denali here. And I'm just going to switch hats here. My Duke, because this one has a light. Woo! All right, so I'm just going to walk you through a couple of the thrust faults and see if I can remember the names of them. I know some of them are on here, but I'll show what they are, because there's actually some pretty cool thrust faulting in the Yukon. So, again, so Titina right there, Denali there, and then I did point out last time that this green zone right here, that is a fault zone, and I later learned after the fact, and you can see this in up close, like with the triangles here, that this is actually compressional. Yeah, so this is where there was some thrust faulting happening. So when this area, I guess, was docking, that there was some thrust faulting happening this way. And then along the Titina here, there's quite a bit of, let's see if we can go in with the triangles here. So there's some thrust faulting in here. And on the east side here, so east of the Titina, you can see right here, there's some thrusting. Actually, this looks like it's thrusting the opposite way. So this is called the in-canoe thrust. Again, let's see if I can find it on here. So right here, we got the there's the lighting. There's the Teslin fault, which is next to the Quiet Lake bath width. And then I know just to the west of Whitehorse, so between the Denali and the Teslin, and obviously the Titina, between Whitehorse and the Denali, there is a series of thrust faults near Whitehorse. So this line right along here, just to the west of Whitehorse, there's a thrust fault system, and I believe that goes down into British Columbia as well. I was just going to look to see if there's a name on here. Shoot. I'll have to look that up and add it to it later. But there's definitely some thrust faulting happening in here. And then along the Denali, which is strike slip faulting. I believe on either side, there's a bit of compressional. In this area, like I have a closer up map of this whole section on either side of the Titina, and there's a lot of movement sideways and compression. But the area that I kind of wanted to show, which is kind of interesting with thrust faulting wise, so on the opposite side of the Titina, which I guess is considered old North America, like if you look up at this map here, so this is where the accreted terrains are. On the east side here, this is considered old North America. So if you look at that up here, there's a lot of really cool stuff happening up in here, along in here, and then over in here. This is a chain of mountains. What are they called here? it's written here. Richardson. So yeah, sorry, this is the Richardson Mountains. But there was another episode where they were talking about like talking about flat slab again, how like inland that there's a chain of mountains that was happening. So similar to like with the Rocky Mountains. But I'm super curious about all this stuff that's happening up here, and maybe Nick will talk about that at some point, but it's like there's more of a compressional stuff happening up here. You can see the direction. Some of the thrusting is happening that way, and then some of the thrusting is happening pointing this way. So anyway, it's a super cool feature. So right along here, and I'm guessing that has something to do with what was happening in Alaska. I don't know the ages of those. I guess Nick is going to have a look at what is going on with that. But yeah, definitely this area is super interesting, and maybe that has something to do with that flat slab that was talking about. For me, the whole idea of flat slab, like I really like the idea of like subducting a large igneous province, which is less, or it's more buoyant and it's going to be lifting up in that. The idea of an actual flat slab still kind of puzzles me. Anyway, I'm live streaming this now, so if anybody's making any comments, they're going to be deleted. But I thought it would be kind of cool for you to check out some of the thrusting. So yeah, we got the Denali, the Denali, the Titina, and then in between those, there's some thrusting. And then on the other side of there's some thrusting. And then this weird shit up here. Like, what is with that? What is with that weird thrusting? Anyway, I will catch you on the next live stream, and I'm going to go get ready because we're about to start with Nick. So, ciao.